It is Wednesday, and that means it's time for BRAP. As my man King David says, BRAP. Anyhow, we got Strictly Gaming in the house. It's gonna be a great show. Let's officially kick off the show right now. All right, everybody, we're back. Got a great show tonight. Got a lot to talk about. A lot of gaming related topics or gaming related news, I should say. We have a new PlayStation hardware reveal this week. Elden Ring, shocking the gaming world with these insane reviews. And then Horizon Forbidden West. Is it Game of the Year? Is it a is it a contender or a pretender? I'm going to say it's a contender, but we'll get into that in a little bit. But I do want to introduce our guest this evening. Long overdue, and I said this earlier before it went live. I said, "Look, man, I've been trying to get you, been meaning to get you on Brad for a long time. Long overdue. We got Strictly Gaming in the house. What's up, Strictly?
My guy, what's going on, bro, man? Appreciate you having me. One of the best channels on YouTube, and I don't say that just because I'm here. You are the man, and we talk about it all the time. I appreciate you being here. What up, chat? Hope everyone's solid.
Thank you, man. No, I appreciate that, man. I really do. And you know, um, like I said, it's long overdue, man. Like we've been meaning to have you on here for quite some time. So I'm happy that we're able to get it to work out. So and then we are Eric is actually Eric Jackson and Slow-Mo would not be joining us tonight. We are going to miss them. And I'm sorry, hold on a sec here. And I think B Money and Gaming Forte will probably be joining us. Well, I don't know about Forte. He might be playing Destiny, so we'll see. He's hooked on. I know he was playing. Look, and I even like. So this is crazy. Like this month of February has been nuts, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know about you, Strictly, man, but hold on a sec here. Oops, sorry about that. Something's going on. I'm hearing like I was hearing some background noise here. Why am I hearing background noise? Hold on. All right, here we go. I think I figured it out. Sorry about that. All
No,
right.
you're good.
New computer, by the way. I got a new PC today. So
Balling.
yeah. Well, having some troubleshooting right now more than anything else.
Man.
But yeah, this has been a crazy month, man. So February started off hot. We had Dying Light 2. I know I'm missing some other games. Sifu came out. And then, I think in terms of the GOTYs, Horizon Forbidden West kicked off.
Yeah.
And then this week is Elden Ring and also the Destiny DLC, which is the Witch Queen, and I think Destiny's like it hit its second highest concurrent players or whatever ever. I think with this DLC, which doesn't surprise me. I feel like a lot of people tend to go back to Destiny like when new. I'm one of those people when new DLC drops. I think somebody in the live chat, X Hawk. This guy, we do get some fanboys in here every once in a while. Strictly, you might see some in the live chat.
Good.
He said good. Yeah, but no, but seriously, this month has been nuts. Like it just like, are we gonna get a break here? Strictly, like I
If
don't know,
man, if you are a gamer, like it's we're basically touching that golden age of gaming, man. Like there's so many games for everyone. I mean, there truly is, like you said, Sifu, Destiny, Destiny DLC. We got Horizon, Gran Turismo's next week. So it's just like it's wild, yo. You know what I'm saying? It's wild, man. And it's like it's crazy because when I played Sifu and Platinum, and I had to play Horizon Forbidden West like the very next week. And then of course Gran Turismo is dropping soon. It's crazy, bro. And Sifu's probably gonna get a DLC soon. So much to play, man. So much to play.
Yeah, no, it really is. Want to introduce B Money real quick. What's up, B?
What's going on, fellas?
What up, bro?
Not
Oh,
much. What's
B.
happening?
We are talking about the fact that this month has just been nuts, man. Like I don't know. I mean, yeah, I mean, like, do we
It's
get a
not.
break?
It's not just this month, man. It's been since the beginning of the year. Like I was kind of talking about this yesterday on Twitter. Like
Mhm.
if you just look at the beginning of the year, PlayStation has hit its stride since the what I mean first second week of the year, and like they're rolling on through the first 3 months. You know what I mean? There's been content every week, at least on the PlayStation side, as far as like a new game to look forward to, or what I mean, just something going on. So I feel like I mean, everybody got to open their wallets because there's definitely something for everybody.
Well, really, now it don't even really matter because the year only consists of 2 months, November, December,
I
according to
know.
bots. So it doesn't.
Oh wow.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, no, I'm just playing, but yeah, lot to play, a lot to
Yeah,
play.
no, it definitely is. I mean, it's just like I said, I said, do we get a break, B Money? But if you're in the racing games, next month is GT7, right?
Yeah,
Um,
that's next
Next
weekend.
week, next
is
Yeah,
that
week.
next
next week?
Friday.
Yeah,
Next
that's what I
Friday.
said. Yeah,
Oh,
next week,
come on.
next Friday, man.
They're
Yeah, bro.
killing me. Just,
Yeah,
just take my wallet, man. Just take it. Take my wallet and burn my money.
just start another account with your bank and name it gaming. Just name it the gaming account.
Yep.
You know what, Strictly, you might be onto something. Let me tell you something, and not to brag. I'm not saying this to brag, but um, this month has been. I just got into this thing where I'm so excited about gaming, and my kids are getting excited about it. So I went out and got a new PC. Gave my 12-year-old my old PC. Got a second Series X for the kids and a second PlayStation 5 for the kids because I'm excited. They're excited. I think
Yeah, man.
they see my enthusiasm. They're like, oh yeah, that's right. So and so's coming out. Like they're hyped for GT7.
Yeah, my daughter, man, she's playing. It's funny because she plays a lot of Astro's Playroom, and I think she's like probably 15 trophies away from getting a platinum for it. She
Wow.
plays, yeah, she's gonna be 6 this year. It's like she really plays like a lot of Ratchet and Clank, Astro's Playroom, and
Mhm.
Roblox. So she loves those games. And I got two PS5s. I got one where my PC's at, and I got my main one. And she kind of be playing on the other TV at times. So it's kind of crazy. It's exciting though. You know what I'm saying? When you're a gamer and your kids game, like you're super proud. You know what I'm saying? So it's dope, man. Super dope.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
my
that's awesome, man.
yeah, my kids. As soon as I got home, what I mean, my second born son, he's 12. He's been super excited about Witch Queen. So once I got off work, he was already playing. He was like, "Yo, Dad, hop on." What I mean, we got to run this Rich Queen campaign. So I was playing that for a while, and then I had to run out to the store. I came back, and my youngest son, he's 4. He plays on the PS5 in the living room, and he was playing that too. He was like, Daddy, come on, I need you to play. I need you to play." So I was playing that before I jumped in here. That's why I was running late. I was
What?
playing that, yeah, playing that 2 with my son, man. So yeah,
Yeah,
every
boy.
one of my kids are gamers. What I mean, I have 4 kids, 14, 12, 9, and 4, and all of them game.
That's awesome, man.
That's dope, man. Dope.
Yeah, my 3-year-old's trying to get into video gaming because he sees us playing now, and he's like, "Oh, can I play a game?" I'm like, "Nah, man, you're too young. I don't have anything for you, little man. I'm sorry, but yeah, but it's really cool because like I said, like they feed off that enthusiasm, and and they see Horizon Forbidden West, and they are. Let me tell you something. They thought I was what they're like. Is that a movie? Like when they first
Hmm.
saw it on the OLED, but they are like they are chomping at the bits to play that game. All of like my 12-year-old's like that's the best looking game I've ever seen in my life.
Literally,
Like literally,
it is.
yeah, yeah,
And I think what I mean, the games that we looked at when we were 12 years old and said that those were the best looking games that we saw ever. You know what I mean? Like just the parts, like what they're getting to see as they're starting, and well, man,
Yeah, man. Like it. This is the thing with it too, man. It's I know some people were talking about, the performance mode, it's some screen tearing. I'm pretty sure, it happens every now and then with some people. I've kind of went back and forth, but I, went to the resolution mode just because, like I mentioned, the BRAP, man, like it would be a crime to have an OLED and not play it in resolution mode. Like the game is ridiculous. And sometimes, like I told Brad before we even hopped on live, like I'm 72 hours in and I still catch myself like just standing there looking at the game, and it's like, yo, I can't believe this is a video game. Like, it's crazy. Like, it's crazy, bro. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, it's one of them ones, man, for sure.
Yeah, it definitely is. And Strictly, we were on Crossfire together this past Friday. I was playing on performance mode. And you guys like were like, oh, you got to play it on resolution mode, and I was like, nah, I got to get my 60 FPS. And I went
Yeah,
back, and played it on resolution mode, and I got to say, like, it is. I haven't gone back. I got used to the 30 FPS.
yeah,
But yeah, I think it's just one of those games where I feel like, okay, I really definitely need to enjoy this game in resolution mode because it is the best game that I've seen this generation. And what's crazy is that it's a cross-platform, cross-generation game too,
mm-hmm,
which blows my mind. Sony's really put out some really good games. PS5 exclusive games with. I thought Demon Souls looked good, and um, Ratchet and Clank, and I thought I liked the aesthetic for Returnal.
yeah.
But this game is like, this
It's
is just
different.
this is on another level. I'm like, what?
It really is, and it doesn't lack in like any areas either. Because some games will graphically look good, you know what I'm saying. But when you start looking at the textures, like it kind of lacks a little bit. But like this, it's not like that. Like every part of it looks gorgeous. And when you just kind of when you're advancing through the map, like every area biome, it's just different. And like I know I got to like a forest type area, man, and one of my favorite parts about the game, to be honest, and it probably is my top favorite, is the immersion it gets. Because like it's not just the graphics and the combat, but when you're in like jungles and when you're in different spots of the map, like it feels real. Like when you're out in jungles and you're hearing like not just crickets and birds and stuff, but you're hearing all type of noises. You know what I'm saying? So it feels like really alive, if that makes sense. So it's just the game is phenomenal, man. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, and so you know what? We might as well jump into Horizon Forbidden West because that was one of the topics today. Since we're talking about it right now. By the way, everyone in the live chat, I forgot to give a big shout out to the live chat when we started. So thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. Really appreciate it. Please hit that like button, retweet the link. I'll drop the link here in the live chat. Please retweet it. Let everyone know we're gonna that we're live. By the way, we're gonna do a giveaway, and we'll be talking about Elden Ring later on. But we're gonna do an Elden Ring giveaway. Your platform of choice for U.S. residents only. I need to say that. But we're going to be doing a giveaway later on this evening for a copy of Elden Ring. And again, your platform of choice, U.S. residents only. But yeah, I don't know, and I said this in the DM, be money the BRAP DM. I don't know what kind of witchcraft or wizardry Gorilla's doing with that Decima engine. But Jesus,
Oh,
like you said, Strictly,
they just getting started, man. I'm trying to tell y'all, they're just getting started.
that's what's wild. It's like they are just getting, like they're just getting their feet under them, and like you said, Strictly, like the game has so many different biomes and variety, and there's so. This is the one thing with like PlayStation Studios. The level of detail and how meticulous they are is, I mean, I don't think anyone would disagree here, is best in class in the industry. I
Yes.
mean, even as I walk around, um as I'm walking around in Forbidden West, it's like I'm seeing things that that to me, like I'm like, something as small as like a butterfly flying past, like yeah, somebody be like, oh, that's not really a big deal, right?
Hmm.
But it is because it adds to the scope of the world and that high level of immersion that you you don't see in other games, and that one would experience if you were walking outside, depending on the weather, of course. Those things are like it's just incredible. I always use this example with Uncharted 4. There was a scene with Nathan Drake and his wife. What's his wife's name again? Is it Nadine? I forget his wife's name.
I forgot her name. I once it was I forgot. I want to say it was Jessica, but I could be wrong.
I don't know.
I'm not like an Uncharted guru like a lot of other
Yeah.
people.
B, do you remember what his wife is? His wife's name?
No, Nadine is the
Nadine is
Yeah,
the
Nadine's the
black
black chick,
character.
and then Chloe's the other.
Yeah,
the other
Chloe,
chick, yeah.
Chloe's the other chick. But I forget his wife's name.
Yeah. So there's a scene there where, basically Nathan gets busted by his wife because he went on an adventure and didn't tell her or something. And they walk back in the hotel room and he's there with his brother and Sully. And his brother, it's funny, they're having, and the scene is really focused on his wife, Nathan and his wife, and they're, having this dialogue. And, she's roasting him and, kind of busting his balls a little bit. And, you look and I don't know why I noticed, but I look at Nathan's brother and he's making these facial reactions. He's responding his facial reactions. He's responding emotionally to the conversation that Nathan is having with his wife. And I said, holy shit. Like, I would never think of that. Somebody that's kind of out of focus, you can see his face, but he's literally reacting. His facial reactions are in tune with the conversation that Nathan and his wife had. And I was literally like, wow, like that high level of detail, you just don't see. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's not a big deal. It kind of, it's, the point is that it's just the amount of work and detail that they put into these games that I think set these games really, really differentiates. I can't even talk today. Makes them
Differentiate.
Thank you, sir. Differentiates themselves from other big AAA games. I've had people on Twitter. Oh well, other people make great AAA games. Somebody tried to tell me, oh well, I'm not going to name his name, but some guy tried to say that this is nothing more than like Assassin's Creed, and for Horizon Forbidden West is, there's other games like it. I'm like, you can't compare Assassin's Creed to this. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's a fact. Like it, I think again, it really just adds to the immersion of the game, man. Like, because that's really the most important factor when we're talking about these video games, man. You want to feel like you're in the world, you know what I'm saying? And so it adds so much to it, and it was crazy because you can tell. I was talking to my boy Bruce about this the other day, and you can tell Sony PlayStation Studios they really they kind of work together and reach out and help each other with a lot of things. Because one of the biggest gripes for Horizon Zero Dawn was the voice acting, the emotions. You know what I'm saying? It just wasn't really that good. Obviously, it was made in 2017, but regardless, it just wasn't really that good. So seeing the jump in this game when it comes to like the cutscenes and how they are emotionally, involved in those conversations and showing their showing their emotions and things like that, like it's crazy the jump it made. And I really think that comes from like Naughty Dog. You know what I'm saying? You can tell that comes from Naughty Dog, just like when it comes to Kojima and Death Stranding with when you're climbing stuff at highlights, you can tell Kojima helped them with that, giving them ideas on that. So the studios definitely work with each other and kind of help each other out in a lot of different ways, and it shows.
Yeah, that's a great point, Strictly. B, do you have any additional thoughts on that, man?
Yeah, I mean, just to touch on what Strictly was talking about, this has kind of been like a known thing for PlayStation. They've always been, pretty good as far as collaborating. You always, see the teams talking with each other, visiting each other's studios, and they learn and pick up, different tips and tricks from each other, and it gets implemented into their game. So, it's good to see them maturing as they release more and more games. You could definitely tell that everyone's learning a lot from each other, and it's getting fleshed out in these games that are coming out. So it's just exciting times, man.
It is, because it's funny because I was watching when I was playing Horizon Forbidden West, bro. There was a point where I was at the workbench, and you know what I'm saying, I exited out the workbench, and it was like a close up on Aloy, and I was in the desert, but she was like sweating, and then she kind of breathed a little bit more heavy, and she was like showing like she was fatigued and tired, and then she kind of bent down and kind of like was like, I'm tired type of thing. And I was like, yo, the detail is crazy. I even clipped it because I was like, yo, I'm gonna put this on Twitter at some point in time. But it's great, like that. Those things I appreciate. You know what I'm saying? They really looking at the little details in these games, man, and it takes a lot of work, but it's so worth it because again, it just adds to the immersion of the game, man. And you just got to give credit to PlayStation Studios, bro, because they're really pushing the industry forward on a lot of different, in a lot of different ways. And detailing games is definitely one of their biggest strengths, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I would agree with the that they're definitely like they're best in class. I think with those third person action adventure games. I mean, they are no one else is doing it like them. And it's I know people say that oh, games are subjective, and there's some yeah. I mean, obviously if open world's not your thing, you may not like a game like Horizon Forbidden West, but there's certain things that aren't subjective, and that is the and things that we can measure. I mean, these things are tangible. You talk about attention to detail strictly, and what you just described, those things, that's fact. Like there's from a technical perspective, what they're doing is some of the best in the industry, and we have ways to benchmark that against other games, right?
Hmm.
And to do it at a very the other thing too, a lot of people don't like. A lot of people don't. I think something that kind of falls on deaf ears a little bit is that people forget that to to uh to create these games at a high level on a consistent basis is not easy to do. I mean, you look at like Halo Infinite or Halo. I mean, like I'm one of those that I've been very vocal about Halo. Like Halo is not what it used to be. I
Hmm.
mean, yeah, it's still a good game, a very good game, but it's not what Halo used to be when Bungie was there, when it was like great and it was like the industry standard in terms of FPS games, right? It's
Yeah.
not there anymore per se, but like another like that's why I always appreciate what Turn 10 does with Forza, because that's not easy to do. They're consistently in Playground, they consistently crank out high level games, and then Sony first party. I mean, and what's even great about Sony first party is that they're not just doing it on a consistent level. They're actually making new IPs and
Facts.
hitting on those. And if you think about in the industry, 5% of all AAA games are successful. Just 5%,
Yeah.
right? And look what Sony's doing at a high level with AAA games. And then on top of that, creating new IPs, Ghost of Tsushima, right?
Yeah.
Last generation, it was Horizon for Zero Dawn. And B, I know you've been vocal about this, but they're working on other new IPs too.
They don't miss.
Um,
I mean, they don't really miss. I mean, it's funny because even when they do miss, like it still sells, and usually it's because of the name. And I've always tell people, man, quality is not subjective. Like it's not. I don't care what people say because these people are telling me, well, it's subjective, this, that, and the third. Well, if that's the case, then why do you go to Best Buy and get an OLED outside of a regular 4K TV? You know what I'm saying? Why are you shopping for for different cars? You know what I'm saying? You can clearly see the quality in the product. Clearly. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to gaming, it's supposed to be any different? Because it's not. You know what I'm saying? And I can look at a game subjectively and be like, okay, that game's not for me, but it looks like a really good game. Demon Souls is a prime example. I'm not into Souls games. However, I can see the quality in those titles because every game's just not gonna be for me. But I'm just being honest, man. Like if I was to buy a Series X, I'm not buying that to play Halo Infinite. It looks like a last gen game. I'm like I don't know what to tell people, but it does. You know what I'm saying? So when you sit there and you compare, you know, Halo Infinite, which was in development for 6 years, you feel me? 6 years, and this is their flagship title. When you compare that to a game like Horizon Forbidden West, it is mind-boggling on how the difference in quality that these titles have. It is literally mind-boggling. So quality isn't subjective. People could say what they want. Bots can say what they want. I don't care. like, but they be delusional and they be talking all that shit on Twitter. But you know what I'm saying? In the background, they're like, damn, Xbox is getting fucking smacked. You know what I'm saying? Like straight up. It's true.
you know, um, But it's again. I mean, these things are tangible. Like and the thing is like I think the problem is that people get very defensive strictly when they think that by you saying that you're saying that Xbox sucks. I don't think Xbox sucks. I just don't think that their first party studios are at the level of Sony just yet.
Yeah,
And that doesn't mean that you can't enjoy Xbox's first party studios, but yeah, quality is not subject, especially like when we have benchmarks to measure these things against. Like you talk about OLEDs, right? I had this debate with my good buddy OBM. I'm like, look, man, like best in class, like no one's look at the OLEDs, right?
yeah,
I mean, we have benchmarks that show, hey, this TV does this better, right? Or this TV is the most versatile for gaming, for movies. I mean, that's why OLEDs. If you are somebody who's a movie aficionado or a gamer, um, you know,
it's
a
a must
lot of
have.
people are going out and get these OLEDs. What are you saying? Or that was
I
B.
was just
You
saying
say strictly?
it's just a must. OLED is a must have if you can afford a OLED, bro. Like
I
it
would
is
agree with that.
crazy on how these. I remember. I kid you not, bro. I remember. Shout out to my boy Nate, bro. Like I remember we was having a conversation, and I said, bro, you got to get an OLED. Like don't talk to me until you get an OLED. Get the damn OLED. And he finally got one, and he put it up. He's like, yo, like this is crazy. You know what I'm saying? And it's just different. You know what I'm saying? And it kind of again, it just goes back to quality, man. Like everyone has their own little thing that they like to be a certain way. They expect it to be at a specific level, and they're not going to deviate from that. Like their level of quality is at one point, and they're not going to go any lower. You feel me? So why is gaming any different? It shouldn't be. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
no,
It shouldn't be.
yeah, I agree. Strictly, I always say this. In the gaming community, it never fails. Like the rules of consumer behavior seem to go out the window, right? When you hear about $70 games, $10 upgrades, it's like, wait a minute, you.
Yeah.
I guarantee you that because anybody who's saying that forgets the fact that if you have an issue with that, that means it just isn't for you. You're not that consumer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and you're probably participating in similar things, right? Like if you have Netflix, you have a 4K TV. Netflix isn't giving you 4K content for free per se. You have to
Facts.
upgrade to the next tier for that. So you got to pay extra money for that.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like in gaming, like those things, those like and what you just described, like this idea of best in class and in quality, things that we can actually that are tangible, things that we can measure and benchmark against. Like for whatever reason in gaming, people forget about that. But they do it with every other probably consumer product that they consume or service. But when it comes to gaming, they don't do it. I think unfortunately, some of that has to go. Some of that I think goes to people just doing pro bono work for corporations, which is
Facts.
unfortunate. You
And
know,
the irony of it is they call you the fanboy, right? Like it's like, okay, I know the quality of product I want. That's what I pay for. I can hold them accountable and criticize them when they mess up. Examples have been there: Destruction All Stars, Returnal, when they had issues at launch. As good as the game was, they had issues at launch. You know what I'm saying? And Jim Ryan misleading people and stuff like that. Like we hold them subjective, but the second you talk about Xbox need to do better and put out better content, then they come at your neck. But I'm the fanboy when you can't even criticize your favorite console. Make it make sense.
yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, you just have people unfortunately doing pro bono work, and I was going to say this earlier. I think strictly, your daughter and B's kids, they're probably doing more actual. They're probably actually gaming more than some of the people that I see on social media. So
Oh, they definitely are for sure.
yeah. So yeah, but again, I'm loving. I know you're like 72 hours into Horizon Forbidden West. Strictly like from what you might be almost close to. I've probably beaten the game. I think. Um, what are your so and I know we're gonna talk about and I don't know if you're gonna play Elden Ring, but we're gonna talk about that here in a little bit.
Yeah.
But like, is this kind of the first game of the year contender for you then?
I would say Sifu is. Well, I hesitate to say that just because of the year it came out in. Like Sifu could have been a game of the year, a strong game of the year contender last year. But this year there's just way too many, crazy games coming out. So, but yeah, I would say Forbidden West is definitely like my true first. Like this is a true game of the year contender. And I don't think it's going to win, not because it doesn't deserve it, but simply because it's coming out too early. And the recency bias takes place, and stuff like, and other things like from software biasness, in my opinion. But we'll talk about that next, and stuff like that. But it's definitely a very, very strong contender to win Game of the Year. It's insane how good this game is, man. Like, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
No, it's no, it is. I think the one complaint I might have is I think with the story that there's a lot of discussion around technology sometimes, and I think that I'm old, so I think I get a little sometimes like what are they talking about?
Yeah,
Um, but there's definitely it's a very intriguing game for me. Like I love this post-apocalyptic world. And I'm
hmm
not going to spoil it, but there's a scene that happens early in the game that made me say, "Wait a minute, I need to know more. Something else is going on that I never even
facts.
saw coming." I don't know if you know what I'm referring
I
to,
know,
but
I know exactly what
I'm
you're
like, "Whoa,
talking
wait a
about.
minute! Like something's going on here. There's some kind of hierarchy in play here that I had no idea was there in the first, Horizon game." But um, somebody just said I'm a baby maker. You're not too old yet, Jesus. Yeah, I don't know about all that. I don't know about being a baby maker. Uh, anyhow, but yeah, I mean, outside of the visuals, I do solid. I do have some like minor complaints about the game. Like I do wish there was like and this was probably because I tend to think of any kind of melee combat and I always associate it with like, oh, if it had like a Souls feel, like a parrying system, that'd be great. Like
Yeah,
we could block parry and like I don't know, do some kind of special move. I thought that'd be kind of cool. Um, but I mean, I think the combat it works fine. It isn't terrible by any stretch of the imagination. And the skill,
It's typical combat of
yeah,
most open world games. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Like I think that's kind of the one thing that people kind of knock it for, especially like the melee combat. It's like, oh, it doesn't feel like it should be like a melee combat game. But if you look at any other open world game, Assassin's Creed, Max Payne, like all those games, they all kind of feel like that same way. It doesn't have that weighty feeling that like a Bloodborne or like a Dark Souls game would have.
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It's my Souls bias comes into play there, right?
Yeah,
Where I would, where Souls, you kind of feel like you're dancing a little bit, if that makes sense.
right.
yeah, yeah. I get
But
it.
yeah, but no, you're right, B. I mean, but it works well. I mean, it works within the context of the game and the skill tree. I actually like the skill tree. And how they give you like I forget what it's called. It's kind of almost like a focus that you could earn. I forget what they call it.
What you mean?
It's like what is it called? Like you basically like you can like when she puts paint on her face and like she gets like real focused. I forget what it's called.
Oh, you're talking about the Valor Surge.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, that's what I was trying to say. Um, there's that, and then what else? There was something else that was
The depth of the depth of the game really isn't talked about a lot, though. Is
but let me ask
it?
you, it's strictly, do they have like I feel like there's more like specialty like with melee, there's more like when you unlock the skill tree, there's more like moves you can make. Do they have that in the first one? I don't remember.
No,
No, I don't think they did.
Okay, that's what I
Yeah, yeah, I
yeah.
don't think they did. Like the melee is definitely vastly improved. I mean, pretty much, honestly, everything is pretty much improved. But melee is one of the main issues people had. That and like the verticality in which you could traverse across the world and things like that. So it was definitely a upgrade. I mean, I don't really have too many. The only gripes I really have is some quality of life stuff. I mean, there is some like bugs every now and then, like um, sometimes picking up stuff it could be a little bit delayed. Sometimes when you're climbing, it kind of it's a little wonky at times. And just
yeah,
and kind of like glitching out in rocks, and sometimes you can get stuck in between geometry and stuff like that. It doesn't happen to me too often, but it happens. You know what I'm saying? So those are like my really only gripes, with the game. But I mean, I get it though, because sometimes people are used to a specific type of game, and I get it because I don't think, because you can't parry in like The Last of Us 2 or anything like that. So like B Monday said though, in open world games, and I know Last of Us 2 is clearly not an open world game, but I'm saying in these type of games, it's not meant to really parry because you have such a wide variety of combat in the game. So I get it.
Yeah, and the other thing too is so why they kind of expanded upon the melee system in this version. One thing I also noticed too, you mentioned like quality of life, and I don't know if you guys noticed this, but I feel like if you were doing a mission, let's say you picked up a mission and then you went to another mission, right? And then you were maybe like gathering some things for a mission that you deselected, right? That you weren't actively doing.
Yeah.
That should kind of remind you that, oh, maybe I should go back and see so and so now. Have you guys experienced that? Like that happened to me where I was doing like a mission for like the chef or whatever, and I forget what town it was. I don't know if you guys do that side mission where you have to collect stuff and he makes you like stew that gives you like different buffs.
Yeah, I did it. That was in the chain. What's it called?
Chain something, the
Chain
town.
scrape. Chain scrape.
Yeah.
Chain scrape.
So when I collected a bunch of stuff, but I was doing another mission, right? So I didn't have that mission like I wasn't actively doing that mission, right?
Yeah.
I was doing another mission and I picked up the last item I need, and she's like, "Oh, maybe I should go back and see so and so now." I'm like, "What?" So
I did pick up on that. I did
yeah. So
pick-
yeah. Did you guys? So I'm not the only one then. Like, so you picked it up. You picked up on that too, strictly.
Yeah. Like Aloy will say something and remind you, and you won't even think about it until she reminds you. You'll be just out and about in open world or whatever, and she'd be like, "Oh, I did this earlier. Maybe I should go back and check on it." You know what I'm saying, or something
Yeah.
like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's a nice little subtle way of the game reminding you that you need to go back and do something in the world, and that's what I'm talking about. Like the little details. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
Yeah, and I think they kind of picked that up just from The Last of Us.
Mm-hmm.
How they have like that just general conversation, like when stuff's going on, and like you'll notice something like in the corner, you're like, oh, like look over there, or what I mean, maybe this rope can help me or whatever. I mean, I think that's because they had errands, like if you did an errand in the first Horizon game, you just had it like in the background or whatever, it would give you a notification that like, yeah, you collected all that stuff. But it wasn't like a verbal thing where it's saying like, hey, telling the player like, go back, what I mean, complete this errand or whatever. So to have that in this game, I think they, kind of picked that up from, other games in the family, and PlayStation family, and kind of made a conscious decision to make that stuff more verbal. So, people, players actually recognize it and, what I mean, complete that stuff.
And one thing I gotta say before I forget, bro, like I haven't seen anyone talk about the music in this game, bro.
Oh,
when it
yes.
hits, yeah.
Oh my gosh. The music is phenomenal. Like this is like Death Stranding music type shit. Like it is very, very great.
It's strictly. I don't know if I'd agree with you on the Death Stranding music.
For me it is. I mean, but
because Death Stranding music is just on a different level to me. But go ahead. I don't disagree with you that it's good music, by the way. I just
yeah. I know. Like Death Stranding is kind of like in somewhat a league of its own when it comes to like the musical choices and how it connects you with what was going on and missions and stuff like that. So it's like a sentiment to it. So Horizon Forbidden West does somewhat of the same things, man. But man, the music is so good. Like,
no, it is good. Yeah, the music's actually great. And that's that's again that level of detail. That music is so good.
Mm-hmm.
It really, yeah, man. And then the 3D audio in this game is really good.
Yes, man. Yes, the 3D audio is amazing. Like I said, when you're in certain biomes, you can, man, it's like when you go outside at night during the summertime and you can hear so many different noises. You know what I'm saying? Like just a bunch of different noises. That's how it is when you're in a lot of biomes in Horizon Forbidden West, and it makes it so immersive because you're like kind of paranoid about a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But the 3D audio is just on point. Sometimes you'll catch yourself physically looking back.
You know what's funny? Strictly? there was like somebody was hammering something, right? And I thought it was my kids in the next room. So I go out there. I'm like, "What are you guys banging on? Stop doing that!" And they're like looking at me like I'm crazy. They're like, "We're not doing anything. We're watching TV." And I go back in the room and I hear it again. I'm like, "Oh shit, it's a game." I mean, and I had this is 3D audio with the headsets on. I'm like, "Wow, it's and even if you're playing like surround sound, because I have a Atmos soundbar. I have an
Yeah,
Atmos 2.1 surround sound with a soundbar. But even playing surround sound, it's still the sound is really good.
it is. Cause I play it with my I have a Bose 700, and I have like the surround sound in my game room, and it like you said, it's the same. Like it's cool. It's crazy, bro. It's clear. It's clear. It's real crisp, and you could just like you said, you can literally hear the difference from like left, right, in front of you, behind you. It's insane, bro. Like there's
Yeah, no,
so
it
many
definitely,
good things to say.
yeah, it definitely is. So B man, what are your big things about this game, man? Like, what are you loving about this, man?
Pretty much everything so far. Like I haven't gotten too far into it. Probably like 10 hours in. Um, like my main gripes are just kind of like what Strictly was as far as like the climbing and stuff. It doesn't look as clean. It gets a little wonky sometimes. Um, and what I mean, you might jump off a rock or like jump backwards and kind of get stuck in like some of the rocks or whatever. So it
Yeah,
becomes annoying, every once in a while, but it's not, anything that you really can't overlook. I mean, everything else about the game is pretty damn good. So I'm just enjoying it, man, trying to enjoy the ride. There's too many games coming out. I mean, so I don't know if I'm gonna finish this before Friday, um, next Friday. So I'm just trying to, put in the time with it, enjoy it, and hopefully finish it by next Friday.
yes,
Man,
sir.
I've let me tell you, I'm not finishing this game for a while. And that's because of another game we're going to talk about here in a sec. But um, so B, let me ask you, is this kind of a game of year contender for you then, man? And I know
Yeah,
it's early on in the year, but
yeah, for sure. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Because I think a lot of people, aren't giving it its credit just because it is so early, and we have so many expectations of other games coming out. But like, we don't know if those games are going to be, everything that we expect them to be. So you kind of gotta, take it for what it is right now. And if you look at the landscape of the games that have come out so far this year, I mean, Horizon's going to be right up there at the top. Sifu would have been up there. But of course, as more and more games come out, then you kind of knock, one of the games that you had in mind down a peg or two. And then, something else might, slide in there somewhere. So for me right now, Horizon is definitely up there. Um, a lot of people are excited for Elden Ring. It's, getting tens and things like that. But we've seen games that have gotten tens, Cyberpunk,
Deathloop.
game Deathloop. You know what I mean? We've seen this before where, I mean, the reviewers aren't finishing the game and saying that the game is, 10 out of 10, and then once it releases, it's, a totally different story. So we kind of got to wait and see how it plays out. So for me right now, Horizon is it.
yeah, yeah. And let me tell you something. That's interesting. You brought up the reviewers not finishing games. They got they got to finish the games.
Facts.
And I get like and if they don't finish it, at least convey that in your review. This is what I've played so far.
Right.
I can't. I think the problem is that I think many of us are. I say many of us, but there's many of us that are cynical of the gaming media as it is anyway, right? And so they're not doing themselves any favors by not finishing games and then reviewing them. Like that's like I can't. I always go back to Gears 5. There's a part of Gears 5 that if you didn't play that game, if you didn't play the entire game, then I think you missed a major turning point in that game, and would probably have you feel a certain way about that game. Maybe have some influence in the review that you put together, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's a big turning point in the story.
yeah, and I feel like you should experience that, because that may make you feel a certain way where you may be like, you know what, I hated that,
Yeah.
or you know what, wow, I actually did like that, you know.
You got to finish the games.
Yeah.
Point blank
No, I
period.
agree. I
Like,
agree with you.
and it for me, it's like I said, you have to finish the games. But my biggest part of it is not being transparent because people don't really know that you're not finishing the game. Like, you got to be transparent and say, hey, I didn't finish it, but my impression of playing so and so hours, this is how I feel about the game. That's what you should say instead of here's my review about a game that people thought you finished when you didn't. Again, it's kind of it's just seeing it from a different perspective, man. It's not right. They need to finish these damn games, and it's kind of like I like to bring up God of War, man, like because God of War you don't get the blades of chaos until like later in the game. So unless you beat the game, you wouldn't know that.
Right.
So man, people, these reviewers, they gotta again, it's too many politics involved in all of that stuff, man. We got reviewers out here saying I paid my dues and that's on the third. Imagine saying you paid the dues in a hobby. Like that don't make fucking sense. You know what I'm saying? Like it just doesn't make sense, bro. Like I've been gaming since I was 5 years old, dude. I am 33. Like I am heavily invested into gaming. I always will be because it's my favorite hobby to do. So paying my dues is not applicable to this to gaming. Period.
Yeah, I hear you, man. No, I agree. I mean, they gotta review these games. I mean, I just don't understand it. I mean, yeah, but I I do want to move on. Oh, you know what? I missed your super chat, by the way. Let me grab this super chat real quick before we move on here. Hold on a sec here.
Yes, sir.
All right, we got Neo Wise with the $5 Canadian. Thank you for that, Neo Wise. Appreciate it. It says one life improvement I want is they should allow you to change the time of day at any campfire instead of only at shelters. Thank you for that, man. Appreciate it.
So before we get out of this
Yes, go
topic
ahead.
on Horizon,
Mhm.
we know that there's probably going to be a Horizon 3, just because we know how Sony gets down. There's
And it's a
usually
trilogy. They announced
3 to
it was
4.
a trilogy.
It's
Yeah.
usually three games in a series. But do you guys think there's going to be anything else? Like based on what we've seen, how they set up the tribes, how they've making these characters way more important than they were in the first game.
Like a spinoff?
Yeah. Do you think there's going to be something else besides just the standard story?
I I don't know, man. Like it's hard to tell because I can see them going further because it's it's a flagship title and it's always hard to see your favorite flagship titles kind of get moved on from. But I can see developers wanting to do something else as well. So I don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I know that's kind of like not really giving a specific answer, but I can make an argument for both, to be honest.
Yeah. Because the way I kind of look at it, I feel like, what I mean, they're making some of these tribe leaders or like people from the different tribes like way more important. They're giving them head figures anyway. So it kind of leads me to, there could be, some sort of multiplayer or semi MMO. What I mean, where you create your own character or whatever, from one of the tribes.
Yeah.
They kind of set it up that way, and maybe like a Monster Hunter-esque type thing, or what I mean, just other things that's going on and in this world. So
Oh,
I
that
don't know.
reminds. Look, let me say this last thing. I promise, I'm done. They show first of all, the character models are phenomenal
Yeah,
in this game.
amazing.
But listen, they really did a great job on black characters, man.
Hell yeah,
Because
hell
listen,
yeah.
games as a whole need to do better. Most games are not doing us a favor. Like it just be some goofy put together. They give us like two haircut options and shit like that. It just don't look, you know what I'm saying? It just don't look natural, all type of shit. But this game, this game is different. So shout out to Gorilla for hooking us up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
To your question, B Money, it wouldn't surprise me if they did some kind of spin-off DLC, kind of like what we saw with High Busters, where you have like new characters, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
And I just feel like, what I mean, what they kind of did with Ghost of Tsushima, what I mean, where they hit us with the legends and it's become like a standalone thing, and they already announced it's gonna, be part of PlayStation Plus. next month. Like they're really trying to push, like, hey, we got some multiplayer stuff too. You know what I mean?
That Ghost Tsushima multiplayer is fire.
Yeah. So
The
I feel like
Rivals, wow.
if they could, this, kind of opens up the door to that. You know what I mean? Kind of expanding, this franchise to be, just a little bit bigger than just a single player game.
Yeah. You know what? I that wouldn't surprise me. I will say this. I don't. There aren't any Latinos in Horizon Forbidden West, right?
Not that I've seen so far.
Can we get some Latino representation, please? Did all the Latinos die for the machines? Is that what happened?
Yeah, you stupid. Yeah.
I mean, seriously, like I was like, yo, everyone else is representative except for Latinos. I think maybe we didn't make it. Maybe.
Yo, you stupid, man.
I was having that conversation with Laura Cognito. He was like, "You're a fool, Brap." I was like, "I'm just saying, like, like I in the future, I guess we don't make it. Sucks,
Hey man, you gotta start letting them know, man.
Yeah, Gorilla, come on, let's get some Latinos in there.
Man.
The one Latino we got in a video game recently looked like he was coked out, and that's the damn pilot from Halo Infinite. Oh man, eyes were all buggy. You see, it's like he was blowing lines, waiting for Master Chief to come back to the what's it called? To the I forget the name of the ship that he has, but anyhow, let me stop. Let me grab the super chat real quick from Drawn TJ with the $5 super chat. Says, "Hi guys, are you excited about Elden Ring?" Yes, I'm very excited about Elden Ring. I think maybe the rest of the panel is.
I'm not sure. You say you're not?
No, I'm not getting Elden Ring. I'm not getting it.
Oh, Strictly's not getting it.
Yeah, I'm not a Souls person, man. I just never been into the. It honestly, it's mostly the aesthetic. Just have never been into the whole dragons dungeon type stuff.
Dungeon Dragons, yeah. Not here, man. Before we get to Elden Ring, though, I do want to go into PlayStation VR 2. Hold on a second. Let me pull this up real quick because I want to show this. Hopefully we can. All right, here we go. All right, there it is. First look at the head-to-head design for PlayStation VR 2. I gotta say, I gotta give. Look, I'm not a big fan of the way the PlayStation 5 looks. I'm just not. Like, I don't.
Stop hating, bro. Stop hating.
Nah, I'm just not. I'm sorry, B. I do prefer the digital version of it though, which is the PlayStation 5 I just got. I got the digital version of that. I like that a little bit better, but I don't know, B. I'm not really feeling the.
You don't like the pregnant version of the PlayStation 5.
Yeah, PlayStation 5 looks like it has a like it's got a hard on or something like coming out the end, but the disc version. No, I don't like the aesthetic per se. I just don't. I'm not a big fan of any of the designs of the current gen consoles. I think the Series X looks like a shoebox. Looks uninspired to me. I know it's very minimalistic, I guess, in design, but it doesn't do it for me. And neither does the PlayStation 5. I don't know. Anyhow, but I do like the design here of the PlayStation VR 2 headset. I like it a lot. I think it looks, sleek. Looks like a high-end device. A lot of people when they showed this yesterday. When Sony unveiled this yesterday, a lot of people were talking about the pricing of this. And look, I've said this about PlayStation, about VR in general. Like, people are like, oh, it needs to be priced like the Oculus. I'm like, no, it doesn't really have to be priced like the Oculus. And I say that because it really depends on what Sony's trying to do. I mean, if they're trying to provide a high-end experience, VR experience, then you don't want it at the price of the Oculus Quest 2, because as great as and I have an Oculus Quest 2, I love it. I like the fact that it's untethered, but you do sacrifice some performance with it being untethered, right? Like you just do. Like these games on the Oculus Quest 2 don't look like last generation games, right? They just don't. And not that they're not that they're like terrible, but it's playing Vader Immortal, the environments are all baked in. Vader's the only one that has any kind of detail. Everything else is just kind of baked in, like the 360 generation per se. So, and I say this to, and I will say this to other people. If you think that, this thing, that $400 is too expensive for this device, all that means is that you're not the target demographic. And I don't mean that to sound negative. It just means that if you're not willing to pay for that, that means it's not something
It's
for
not for you.
you. Yeah, exactly.
The same for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, again, man, it goes back to that quality, dude. Like,
I mean, yeah.
yeah, does everyone wants top notch quality, but want to play, you know what I'm saying? Like,
It's pricey.
yeah, they don't want to pay nothing for it. Like, I mean, I'm just a firm believer in you pay for what you get. I don't mind paying for top quality shit at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? This ain't no different. I can't wait to get the PSVR 2. This is gonna be my first time diving into it, but to me it looks good. I like the way the whole PlayStation 5 aesthetic look. It looks way better with black plates and other color plates, you know what I'm saying? But hey man, I can't wait for the PSVR 2, which is funny because they are making a Horizon for the VR. Standalone, my add.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, that's a great point. But strictly, you're right. Like you people, again, this goes back to this thing that drives me fucking nuts about the gaming community. It's that, like, people forget that, like, it's the gaming, the gaming industry is no different from any other business, any other consumer product. It's tiered, right? And it's not for everyone. $70 games aren't for everyone. $60 games aren't for everyone. $400 peripherals, potentially the PlayStation VR 2, is not for everyone. And it's just because you game doesn't mean like that everything needs to be for you, because it's just not. There's different target demographics within the gaming space. Like,
Listen, hey,
yeah.
I don't mean to cut you off, but imagine people buying, these same people be buying, expensive 4K TVs, OLEDs, but then when it come to gaming, they want to play Daddy Longleggers 2 or some stupid shit like that instead of damn Spider-Man. Like, make it make sense. It don't make sense. It doesn't. Like,
Oh my
yo, come on.
long legs.
What we doing here?
I mean, look, it's, again, you're right. And again, like, is anyone yelling at LG saying you need to price your OLEDs cheaper?
Facts.
Nope.
Like, is anyone doing that? No.
Facts, man. Like, come on, man. Like,
Is anyone yelling at it? Well, people might be yelling at NVIDIA, and I do too. But is anybody yelling at NVIDIA saying, you know what, you need to make that $3090 $500? No.
No, they're just yelling about making more. Where
Yeah.
are they?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Where are they?
It don't make sense, man. People just it's only because of Sony. You already know. We're just gonna say that right now. That's the only reason. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But
Look,
if you don't want to pay for it, don't pay for it. But like you said, it's not for you.
Yep.
Yeah, and so, and I didn't want to have the conversation of what price do we think the PlayStation VR 2 should be, because, like, for me, like, if it's $600 and I want it, I'm going to buy it, right?
Same.
And I am probably going to get it anyway, because so here's the thing with VR. This is something people should understand too. Like, within the VR, within that product group of virtual reality headsets, right? Like, they're tiered. Like, you have the Oculus Quest 2, which is like the entry level device, right? At $300.
Yeah.
You also have an HTC Vive, which is like $900, which is like the primo, like, this is like Ready Player One type shit, right? But there's a catch. You also have to have a high-end PC to run that, to have that experience, which is going to cost you another $2,000, right? For a good, I think, VR capable PC.
Yeah.
Could be a little bit less, but so you're looking about almost $3,000. The whole, again, my point is that they are subsets of consumers that will buy these products. It's not for everyone. And so, again, I didn't want to have the conversation of how much do we think this should cost, but I'm gonna have it anyway, because I know there's probably people who are listening and want to know what our thoughts on. But I'll go to you strictly. Like, you say you're gonna buy this.
Yep.
What do you think this thing's gonna be priced at, or what do you think Sony should price this at?
I think it's going to be priced at. I think it's going to be priced at 400, but they could definitely get away with 5. Just because due to the specs, man. I mean, this is a significant jump, in in technology in the VR, man. And I'm one of those people that's gonna be, you know what I'm saying, diving into it and really seeing if I like it or not. But I definitely think between four and 500 for sure. Um, because mainly I kind of lean more towards 500 though, to be completely honest, man. Now that I think about it, because like you mentioned, the Oculus, man, you have to have like you basically have to have a really good PC to run that. You know what I'm saying? So the a part of the affordability is the price point to price point of entry. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely think they can get away with 500 given the specs and given the market, growing and stuff like that.
Yeah. No, I kind of actually do agree with you. I think $400 is probably uh the sweet spot. I think that it's going to be. I think they're going to position this device kind of in between like the higher end VR headsets like the Vive,
Hmm.
there's the Oculus Rift, and then the Oculus Quest 2, which is the more entry level VR set. Because if you're somebody who's interested in VR and you want more of a premium experience, you are going to have to buy a PC that's more money than the console, right?
Right,
So
exactly.
yeah, so this might be kind of an in between there, and that may be the target demographic. Somebody who doesn't want the Oculus Quest 2, wants more of a immersive, more high end experience, but then also doesn't want to buy the HTC Vive at $800, $900, and then also buy a $1,800 PC rig. So, B, what do you think, man? What do you think this thing's going to come in at?
Yeah, I'm kind of where you guys are at. I think the base one is probably going to be right around 400, and then they'll probably have some sort of bundle 500. What I mean, with whatever software that's going to release. I don't know if the Horizon game is going to be day one, but I'm sure they'll have something in there as far as the bundle is concerned. I mean, get a little bit of that the margin gain on a bundle.
Yeah.
So 4 to 500 is kind of where I'm thinking. I don't think they're gonna go too much higher than that. I think they're gonna kind of stay in line with the price of the console.
Yeah, same. I feel
Yeah,
the same.
yeah. And the other thing I was going to mention too is before the Oculus Quest 2 came out, the PlayStation VR headset was actually like the top selling VR headset. Now Quest 2 has since taken over. I think they've sold 10 million plus Quest headsets. But yeah, no, I agree with you guys. I think this is going to be, and I'm day one. I already know I'm day one. You know,
Same.
yeah, yeah. I mean, strictly,
Same.
you said Horizon, and they do have a Horizon game on the current PlayStation VR, but the new Horizon game, like, yeah, I'm there. I'm there day one.
Yeah, I'm there day one. Once the Horizon Call of the Mountain is what it's called.
Yep.
Yeah, Call of the Mountains one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm there day, and that's going to be crazy because they're clearly trying to push the industry forward in the VR space. Because even I haven't played the Oculus, or anything like that. Because again, I'm new to VR in general. So I may not be right when I say this, but it doesn't seem like there's really a lot of games that is pushing VR forward. And PlayStation's probably trying to do that too, which is why they are making that a completely separate project. So it's going to be interesting
yeah.
on how good the game is, because if it I don't expect it to be, meet for Forbidden West levels or anything like
Hmm.
that, but I do expect it to be like a top-notch VR experience. So if it's really good, then word of mouth is going to kind of get around, and you're really going to see that the PSVR 2 really kind of start being mentioned a lot more. You know what I'm saying? So definitely interested to see what happens with the VR.
Yeah,
VR
I'll
2.
say this strictly. There are games. So I would say that Sony is the only one pushing that medium forward. I mean, there are some really good games on like Oculus Quest 2.
Yeah.
There's like a tabletop virtual like Dungeons and Dragons game that's really cool. There's actually a really good like Fortnite type of FPS on VR. Moss, which is actually I think a platforming game that was developed by former Bungie developers, is actually really good. So they are games that are pushing VR, kind of pushing the industry forward in that sense. I think what Sony has, though, the advantage that Sony has is that they have the IP, the brand, if you will. Like you mentioned Horizon, right? They
Hmm.
have that brand recognition that these other games don't have.
Yeah, and I think what Strictly is mostly referring to is
Yeah,
like the big AAA push. As
exactly.
far as
Yep.
like in VR, because You know what I
Yeah.
mean? When you kind of look at the landscape of what we have in VR, you know, you can call back to the Resident Evil game. You know what I mean? 7 and I believe 8 was in VR as well. But then you have Half-Life Alex and things like that. But there's not like many great, you know, big AAA games in the VR space where, you know, people are really calling those games out. So I think, you know, PlayStation has a good opportunity with what they've done with the new headset, you know, all the advances that they have on it. If they can, you know, really knock it out of the park with some high quality VR content, they'll really put themselves on a map.
Yeah.
I would agree with that, B. And that's one of the things that's kind of lacking in that VR space, like that AAA quality game, that banger, if you will, right, in the VR space. But also like the one thing VR doesn't have is it doesn't have the big releases on a consistent basis the way consoles have. So yeah, that's a great point across the board.
I think a big way
Yeah.
for Sony to kind of address that is if they can get with some of these, you know, other partners and third party developers to kind of adapt their first party or their first person games to VR, you know, similar to what Capcom did with Resident Evil. You know what I mean? Then they don't have to directly focus on, you know, having their own first party, you know, develop VR games. You know what I mean? They'll have more of a consistent release. You know, if there was able to be, you know, like Dying Light 2. Like if Dying Light 2 had like VR, you know what I mean, then it doesn't put all the pressure on Sony to continue to release, you know, high quality games. They'll have third party partners that, you know, can deliver that content as well.
Yeah, that's a great point, B. That's a great point. And that would actually, like strictly saying, kind of push that medium even forward more, right?
Right.
Yeah. Let me grab some super chats here real quick. We got Drawn TJ again with the $5 super chat. Thank you. It says, thank you for that. Drawn TJ says, hi guys, are you excited about did I get that one already?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you
Okay.
did. You got that one.
Okay. There's another one by Drawn TJ then. Fight with the $5 super chat says, I have never played Dark Souls, but Elden Ring should be fun. Let me tell you something. There's never a bad time to jump into a Souls games. And then Draw TJ with another $5 super chat says, I get it being $500. If it didn't need a PS5 because of that, it needs to be $400. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. So yeah, I think we all agree it's probably going to come in at $400. So
YouTube with super chats is the gaming is like the strip club. You're basically making it rain, bro. Balling. You're balling on.
Hey, and this wasn't a topic, guys, but I want to bring it up. We saw Street Fighter 6, and there's some conversation around whether it's going to be on the Xbox platform. I don't think it's going to be. I think this thing's going to stay exclusive. Strictly, first of all, any interest in Street Fighter 6? And then, do you think it's going to be exclusive on PlayStation still?
No interest at all. I don't play fighting games. I'm ass at them. So no. But
you don't have a pair of like custom sticks in the house laying around?
Nah, man, I am terrible at fighting games, bro. I've always been, and now I'm, I accept that. But it's definitely gonna be exclusive to PlayStation, man. I mean, when you think of fighting games, you literally think of PlayStation first. I mean, it was rumored that even before the PlayStation 5, next gen consoles came out, that they were making some crazy, third party deals. This is one of them. And again, I don't think people are really playing fighting games on Xbox like that. It doesn't seem like it. So, I mean, and then they copped Eva, you know what I'm saying? So it just makes sense for all fighting games to be on PlayStation. From resources, profit, all of that. From a business perspective, it just makes way too much sense. So yeah, Street Fighter is definitely not going to Xbox.
Yeah. What do you think, B Money?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of up in there. Like they had that Capcom leak where it showed that the game, was supposed to come to all platforms, but like Strictly said, Sony was kind of throwing some bread around at the beginning of the generation. You know what I mean? They held down Street Fighter 5 for over 6 years as an exclusive. I don't see why they wouldn't, continue to do the same thing with Street Fighter 6. Street Fighter 5 was the second best selling game out of the entire franchise, and it was literally only on one home console and on PC. So,
B, I got a follow-up question related to that, but go ahead, man.
So like, if that's the case where all the previous games were released on every console and a game that was only released on one home console became the second best selling in the franchise, I think there's no reason, why Sony wouldn't double down on that, be able to capitalize on that. They did purchase Evo. We know they've been talking a lot about esports and, what they're kind of doing. And, they want to focus, a lot of their multiplayer games coming up in the esports genre. So it would only kind of align with again. And because it's one of the biggest fighting games in the fighting game community. It's always the biggest fighting game at Evo. Capcom Cup is actually pretty amazing every year. You know what I mean? That it drives a lot of dollars for Capcom. So it only makes sense, man.
But you ever see that?
It's just weird that they tease the game and there's no confirmation of what console it's going to be on.
Yeah, that was interesting, which leads me to believe that's going to be that Sony's saving it for some kind of announcement later on down the road for them.
Right.
Yeah, either that, and I know people were mentioning on Twitter that I think it was being leaked that it could have been multiplayer or something like that. But I mean, look, technically Final Fantasy is multiplayer, but they're not ever getting it. So I mean, like, so that is a possibility that technically it could be multi-plat, but when are you ever going to be able to play that game on Xbox is a whole different question. So possible. Just saying.
Yeah, that's strictly. I'm actually kind of. I don't think I agree. I don't think that game Final Fantasy VII Remake's ever coming now. I think who knows what's happened to it.
Yeah,
I think Sony, like you said, like B said, they dropping bread. I don't know what happened. Like that, it was supposed to come. It's not coming now. But yeah, I mean, like B said, Street Fighter V was the second best selling Street Fighter, and it was only released on the PlayStation console. So, Sony's helping with marketing and giving Capcom incentive to keep it there, and then it sells. It sells very well on the PlayStation platform, making it the second best on that franchise. And look, I mean, if you look at the data, Capcom games really haven't sold well on the Xbox either.
And that's the thing that like annoys me, because like Capcom does provide all of that information whenever they release their financials every quarter. They show how many games are sold on each platform, and every quarter they release their financials. If you look at the Xbox sales, they're always in the trash. So all these people who talking about how they playing all these games on Xbox, no, you're not.
Facts.
And it's facts, man. They lay it out every quarter. Just go look at the financials.
And it's a pretty big disparity, B-Money, between what Capcom sells on the PlayStation platform versus the Xbox. And by the way, I know people are going to think the problem with it, when you have this conversation, people think you're bashing the Xbox. No, this is the reality of the matter. People who own Xbox aren't buying games from Capcom. And how do we know this? Capcom is giving us the financial numbers. They're showing us.
Bro,
they're
people
showing
on
us the
Xbox
numbers.
Not buying games, period. It ain't.
Oh my God.
I'm calling it what it is.
I'm not gonna co-sign that strictly, but I do think some people buy games on Xbox. But I hear your point, man. I hear.
All right. Look, maybe about 2 people. You know what I'm saying?
You said 2 people. Come on, man.
I quit. But they really don't buy the games. Nah, but for real, like you said, man, you can look at the financials, bro. Look, man, people on Xbox that own Capcom game, not own them, but play them. They're not buying those games, bro. Facts are facts, brother.
Yeah, no, they're not. They're really not. I mean, again, we've seen the financials. They're not. So there's not incentive for. There's really not an incentive, really, if you think about it, for Capcom to put a game on the Xbox, especially you think about Street Fighter 6, given how well Street Fighter 5 did on the PlayStation, right? Again, second best Street Fighter ever in terms of sales on one platform, and Sony's incentivizing them as well. So
And, and Street Fighter 5 literally wouldn't happen if Sony didn't give them the bread to continue to produce the game.
That's a great point. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
You know what I mean? So like, even if Capcom is in a good place and they probably initially wanted to release the game on all platforms, you know what I mean? Sony probably knocked on that door and said, hey, remember last time y'all wanted to release this game? Whose money did y'all use? Oh, ours? Okay. Yeah, Street Fighter 6 is ours too.
And it's dangerous, man. Like that's like that's not good from just a consumer and um a competitive perspective, man. Cause then you're not really, they got to make the best product, and then you don't really give them any other choice. You know what I'm saying? So it's just
Right.
like it's just not good. Like I hate that, the gaming space in general is just kind of one sided. As much as we talk about it, but it's just not a good thing for consumers, man, because one entity carrying gaming is just not good. And this is just it's the same principle. It revolves around the same principle, man. So
Yeah. By the way, I stand corrected. It just didn't release on PlayStation. It was also on PC. So
yeah,
I forgot to mention that. But yeah, no, it also released. So I think it's going to be PlayStation 5 and PC, and I don't think it's going to make it to the Xbox. And again, I mean, these companies are in the business to make money, and if money's not on that platform, they're not going to spend the time and resources and money to port that version of a game. It's just not, why would you do that? If your ROI is low, you're not going to do it. You're just not going to do it.
yeah, doesn't
So
make sense.
yeah. But the other thing too. So I got to rant here a little bit, real quick. I know we're going to get to Elden Ring, but
Rant.
so I see this thing going around now that Microsoft had to buy publishers because Sony was keeping games off their platform.
Yo, man, these people are pure comedy, man.
It's like, what the fuck are we talking about here? Like, I just like seriously, like and I'm trying to be nice, I really am, but like the level of stupidity, the lack of critical thinking is driving me nuts at this point. Like, what, like, are you not like thinking critical? Like, somebody said something stupid about the whole Elden Ring thing. Oh, I can't believe that it's not getting a lot of reviews on the Xbox. What? Who the fuck cares? It's the same fucking game.
Yeah, like
What the fuck are you talking? It's the same game. It's gonna be the same experience, and you're worried about journalists? The fuck is it like? Where's the critical thinking? Clearly, if out the fucking door. Like I look. It's so like I'm seeing this, and like people are acting like Microsoft is a victim here, right? Well, Sony's got they got Final Fantasy 7 and they lock games down for a year or two, and Sony,
Hey, then Microsoft just spent like $70 billion.
Thank you.
All right, then shut it. All that other bullshit need to shut up.
Because they had to, because Sony was keeping games. No, let me tell you something. Microsoft is not a victim here. Like, let's stop. First of all, if you're treating corporations like victims, you got a problem. Number one, bigger than just what the crazy shit you're saying on social media. Strictly, I always think about you walking out touching grass. Maybe some of those people need to do the same.
Bro,
My man came out with a coffee mug.
Hey, listen, you already know. I'm like, y'all better leave me the hell alone. I'm telling you, I am. Look, man, it's not good on how petty I can be, bro. Like, I low key wanted to change my PSN to touch grass 03 or something. Like, I really did. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, man, these the same people. It's crazy, man, because these are the same people that I'd be like, oh well, Elden Ring. It reviewed better than Horizon Forbidden West. I'm like, you do know we can play that on the PlayStation, right? Like, why? It's those same people. It's those same people, man. It never fails, bro. They're like, I kid you not. And I was thinking about this before the podcast. They're like Cowboys fans, bro. Like,
oh wow,
bots and Cowboy fans are the same people. You cannot tell me otherwise. They are the same people. Bots literally bring up history, Halo, Gears, and Forza. You know what I'm saying? Every single conversation. And when you ask them what you have now, they talk about some future shit that I ain't even see yet. Cowboys do the same shit. The second they lose a game, oh, well, do you have 5 Super Bowls? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the same shit. These are the same people, man.
That's funny, man. Every year the Cowboys go win the Super Bowl.
Every year. Every year it's we're
So,
gonna win the Super. Next year is our year.
so,
Well, here we are 2 years later.
so
You still ain't like
here's I'm going to pick on someone here in the live chat here in a minute, because he just says something that just is crazy. So people like treating like Microsoft's like the victim here, and I said, look, I went down the rabbit hole. I said, look, Microsoft has made these kinds of deals, and they're like, oh well, yeah, but they only did it for 2 or 3 months. Like somebody, I use the example of Stalker 2. Oh well, Sony does it for 1 or 2 years, but Microsoft does it for 2 or 3 months. Okay, well, who agreed to that fucking deal?
Enrique.
Microsoft did. Come on,
Enrique.
guys. Like, what do you get? It's not like the publishers are dictating to Microsoft what Microsoft will do 2 or 3 months, and they might be. The publisher might say, you know what, we only want to do the exclusive deal with Stalker 2 for 2 or 3 months. Microsoft is going to agree or say no. They're going to say, you know what, well, that's fine. We'll take the deal, or they're going to say no, we're not going to take the deal.
it's funny if they bought their games, they wouldn't have this damn issue, would they?
Oh man, you're messy, man. You're being messy.
I'm just being
look. You're being messy, man. Come on, man. They buy games, man.
Is it not the truth though? Like, think about it. If they bought their games, then they would have more leeway. But they're not buying their games, so when you look at the financials and when you really look at the active player bases and stuff like that, they're like, oh shit. Yeah. PlayStation clearly has,
but the other, but look, my point is this though, they both do it. Everyone in the industry does this, right? Nintendo even does it to an extent, and this is like a time-honored tradition that platform holders will buy, will money hat third-party deals, will get second-party exclusives, and
the end goal is to get people on your platform.
It's business.
That's all it is. It's business. If you ever ran a business, if you ever worked at a business, you would understand that you got to get people in the door.
Are they saying the same for TV manufacturers?
Right.
When they locking up deals for different different companies making their chips for different TVs and stuff like that. I bet they're not saying it then, are they?
Exactly.
I mean, this is like time order, like you said, B. That's what they do. They want to get you on their platform, and so this idea that Microsoft's a victim and that that they have no say, I mean, it's just like it's mind blowing. And and the other thing that I've been seeing too is that when Sony acquires someone, it's good, but when Microsoft does it, it's bad. I'm like, well, first of all, that's probably a console war type thing.
It's not bad. The only time people have ever questioned it is when they bought the publishers. That was the only time people were like, "Yo, hold on, like what's going on here?" They bought Bethesda. What? Okay. All the shit they bought Activision. Damn, that's pretty big. When they bought Ninja Theory, nobody was like, "Oh shit, they taking all the Ninja Theory games." When they bought Compulsion, nobody was like, "Oh shit, I ain't gonna never get no more." Whatever the fuck they put out. You know what I mean? Like, it just is what it is. Like people don't care if you buy studios. You know what I mean? But when you start taking some of the big pieces off the board, then of course people are gonna look at it kind of crazy. You know what I mean? That's what it is. Like, nobody should be mad that Sony went and bought Housemarque. They've been working with Sony for forever. Nobody should have been mad when, they bought Insomniac. Insomniac been making games for them for like 20 years. You know what I mean? Bluepoint. When's the last time Bluepoint put out a game on any other console? You know what I mean? Like, so when Microsoft went and bought the studios that they did early on, like the 5 or 7 that they bought before they started buying publishers, nobody was like, oh shit, like, I can't believe, Microsoft. Go ahead, go make it games. Do what you do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you take a big piece off the board, people gonna look at it a little crazy. You take, everybody's not a Bethesda fan. I'm not a Bethesda proper fan, but I mess with Arcane. I mess with, my guys over there. But the Elder Scrolls and shit like that, I don't care. They can have that. But I understand that there's fans on PlayStation that are like, yo, I mess with Elder Scrolls, I mess with Fallout. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if we ever gonna get those games. Of course, so you take a big audience like that and you just wipe it away, people gonna question it. But if Microsoft continued to buy smaller studios, people wipe that under the rug and move on. You know what I mean? Who's Sony gonna get? Who's Nintendo gonna get? When you start moving big publishers, people gonna question it.
Exactly. And that's the part that I'm like, guys, it's not an apples to apples. If you don't understand that on just in terms of just scope, that buying a publisher like Activision is much different than buying Insomniac or money having exclusives. That you truly don't understand the industry, because
Facts.
you I don't know, maybe you hit the crack pipe too hard. I don't know what's happening, but something's happening where it's not registering in your mind that they're not an apple to apples comparison. If I go out and I buy 7 small boutique hotels in New York City, and B Money goes out and buys Hilton International Worldwide, that is not the same thing. B and I did not make the same acquisitions. His is a much larger acquisition in terms of scope, and it's not the same thing. And so this whole crying about, oh, it's not fair, and the media didn't call Sony out when they did. They called Microsoft that. Well, if you don't understand why the media is questioning $70 billion acquisitions, you don't get it. You don't get it. You really don't get it, because they're not the same thing. And look, Microsoft acquired these companies because they need to feed the beast, and that's Game Pass. That's why they did this, right? They seized the opportunity to pick up Activision when Activision was in trouble. Their stocks were not tanking, but dropping.
Yeah, they were dipping.
They were dipping, and they saw an opportunity to. They found a wounded animal, and they pounced on it, and they did it. And you know what? And people, that hits different when you have a $70 billion publisher. That hits a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
You think they got what? How many 1,000 employees do they pick up for Activision now?
Bruh, a bunch. Like, I don't even know, but it's a bunch.
I don't want to say. Was it like 10,000 employees? Maybe I'm inflating that number.
Yeah, I don't know if it's that high. It's maybe like around 8.
But think about that. So
between
not 8,000.
5 and 8,000 employees.
Yeah, between 5 to 8,000 employees. That is significant. That is significant. That is much different than a shop with 500 people. It just. So anyway, and again, I bring this up because it's some of the crazy shit that I've been seeing, online, and I don't understand why that conversation's happening, but it's dumb. It really is. Like, it's just. Oh, hold on a sec here. Here's what I'm talking about. Every damn time Microsoft has done long third-party exclusive, the media has cried wolf. When has the media really cried wolf? Like, did you just wake up and start gaming today? And don't give me Tomb Raider, because Tomb Raider, the issue with Tomb Raider is that Microsoft wasn't, when they were specifically asked by the media, is this game exclusive or is it timed exclusive? Well, you know what Phil Spencer said? Well, we don't really own the IP. That's not the fucking answer, Phil. That's not what we're asking you.
But you know that they was dancing at the beginning of the generation. That's all they did. You know what I mean? They didn't have the correct answer, so they danced on every answer.
Exactly.
They doing it now.
You know what I mean? Like,
nobody ain't going there.
Nobody was crying when Dead Rising 3 was exclusive.
No.
Microsoft went out, dropped the bag. They went to Capcom, dropped the bag. Dead Rising 3 is launch title on the console. You know what I mean? Like, shit happens. You know what I mean? Microsoft has done their thing. Isn't Avalanche making Contraband?
I don't know. Are they?
Yeah, remember they announced it? Remember that was one of the things we talked about in one of the last showcases when I was like, yo, why did they even show this game? Like, what was the perk? Remember, it was like just like some weird, like that. It was like a map on the table, and you know what I mean? It was just a weird like setup, and they just like, oh, Avalanche is making this game Contraband.
Yeah. The problem is that people like, again, I'm going to pick on this guy here. This is the kind of shit that I see publishers that would have been bought anyway. Okay, they would have been bought. So, okay, that's fine. Like, no one, like, honestly, like, no one's saying there's anything wrong with Microsoft getting these teams. What people don't understand is that it is a fair conversation when you start buying, when a company like the size of Microsoft has trillions of dollars to burn. Like, think about it like this. Like, they could literally, Game Pass could literally not make Microsoft a dime, and Microsoft could still sustain that because they could pull money from other resources. So think about that. Think about that, what that means from a competitive standpoint. I'm not saying they're a monopoly. That Microsoft is not a monopoly in the gaming space. And anyone who says that, again, doesn't know what the hell they're talking about either, because that's not, just look at like they're even.
If anybody's a monopoly in the gaming space, is Embracer Group. They got a lot. They own the most.
They own the most,
game developers.
But if you look at like revenue and everything, Microsoft's only number 3 in the gaming space, right behind Sony and Tencent. So, So no, they're not a monopoly, but there is something to be said, and there's nothing wrong with having a conversation around what consolidation like this means for the gaming industry, because there are concerns, like whether I don't whether GK and whatever your name is, whether you realize this or not. I've talked to developers who are worried about these kind of acquisitions of publishers more so than they are individual acquisitions of studios. So these are people that work in the gaming industry. Okay, it's not a slight at Microsoft, but these things are concerned. They are eyebrow raising because they've never happened before. We've never had $70 billion acquisitions of publishers on the magnitude of Activision. So of course those things are going to be discussed.
Remember when I said what I said when it first happened? I was like, now people are just gonna be lined up at the door, waiting to get acquired. Now Platinum's out there, standing on the corner waiting for somebody to pick them up. Ubisoft was like, yo, you know what I mean? We ain't ready to be acquired, but if somebody come knocking, we you know what I mean, we'll take a look. Like now everybody for sale. You know what I mean? You see a big company spend $70 billion, now everybody for sale. Hey, we wasn't thinking about it, but hey, somebody come knocking, we'll go ahead and give it up. You know what I mean? So it's going to continue to happen. It kind of is what it is. But people going to question it when it's a big publisher. That's
just the
wrong with that.
That's the nature. That's the nature of it, man.
Yeah, like look, when Michael Jordan came back to the Washington Wizards, they weren't talking about Jerry Stackhouse. They were talking about Michael Jordan. Good deal.
It's just the nature of it, man, of a publisher that large, and then like even with the the FTC or whatnot, investigating it. I think regardless, just it's going to get approved, but there will be stipulations in place. That's why Microsoft came out and was like, hey, these games are going to remain multiplayer XYZ, because they know. You know what I'm saying? And when you have something of that magnitude and them responding to it like that, clearly we're not overreacting, and clearly this is more different than anything else that has happened in the past in regards to gaming. So I don't know what people are talking about. The proof is in the pudding.
Yeah. Well, that's my rant. I'm going to end the rant there, but some of the crazy shit I've been seeing, I don't know. Yeah. You guys probably see it too.
Yeah, for sure.
Big shout out to Sir X-Men, $2 super chat, says Madden 22 and MLB The Show 22 free with Game Pass. Yeah, thank you there, Sir X-Men. Appreciate it.
Yeah, but how many does he play those games? I want to know if he plays those games. What's your gamer tag?
I think he plays. Wow, I think he plays MLB. I think he plays MLB The Show. Y'all, you all ruthless, man.
Hey, I can't look, man.
I see. Someone's like, oh, blah 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 blah. Do you care about that game? You do? Okay, let me see that. Let me see.
I can't look. God is not done with me yet, man. I'm trying not to be. I'm trying, man. I'm a work in progress, man.
All right, man. All right, hold on a second. Let me pull something up here real quick because I want to go to hey, Bo, I gotta figure out B-Buddy, we gotta figure out how to give away this. Now I don't think I'm trying to find digital copies of Elden Ring for PlayStation. I can't.
Did someone bring up MLB The Show? Is that what the last super chat was about?
Yeah, it was. He said the show 22 and Madden 22 will be free in Game Pass. The thing is watch it still has a larger player base on PlayStation.
You know what I was thinking about with that? With the whole Game Pass thing? Like
what?
Sony still could sell the game. But it kind of leads them to where they can put it in just about every subscription. Yeah, like even in Nintendo, you know what I mean? They could put it in whatever Nintendo's online, subscription thing is. And still capitalize on the game. Because like it's a sports game. People are gonna buy the stubs in there. So they're gonna make the money back on the microtransactions anyway.
Yeah.
And it was a nice best selling game last year anyway, with it being in Game Pass. So being in a subscription ain't gonna hurt at all. People still gonna go out there and buy it.
Yeah, facts. Hey, Sir X-Man, I'm gonna need you to show that gamer tag. I'm
sorry. Oh wow. Okay.
No, I quit.
Yeah. So we got to figure out how to give away the Elden Ring. So here's the deal. I'm going to give away if you do pick it up on the Xbox, I'll give you again US residents only. If I get you the if you do pick Elden Ring up for Xbox, I can give you a digital code. If it's PlayStation, I'll just give you like a $60 PlayStation digital like currency so you can use to buy the game on PlayStation stores. So But B, we got to think of like some trivia or something, man, for Elden Ring, because I haven't even thought of anything. To be honest with you, man. I don't know if you
I'm
got.
to look something up, man.
Yeah, look something up and then put it in the what's it called, in the private chat.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. So let me pull up the comments here real quick. Let me know when you put in the private chat so I can take a look. B. All right, let's move. That's my rant. Hold on a sec here. Let me pull up this. Damn it! Hold on. All right, here we go. All right, look at that. Elden Ring, 97 Metascore right now. Wow.
It's crazy.
Who saw that coming? I mean,
Hey, man, that thing better not have not one bug, glitch, nothing. For game at 97.
I tell you what. I predicted an 89. I didn't see 97, and this is probably, I think this is From's highest meta rated game so far. Well, meta score so far of any of the games they put out. They've had 90s in other games, but I think this might be the highest one. Some of the reviews that I've been seeing have the one consistent that I've heard is that this game's a masterpiece. That From Software's taken everything that they've learned from Sekiro, Bloodborne, and the Souls games, and they've kind of, in a roundabout way, or I should say more or less, have kind of, kind of perfected the formula, if you will. And so this game is, look, it's coming out Friday. I think this game is going to be the biggest release of these Souls-like games that From Software's put out. Like, apparently, from what I understand, it's tracking higher than the other games they've released, and was tracking at a very high rate even before the reviews came out. So there's a lot of interest in this game prior.
Yeah.
And I think this is only going to push that interest more. I mean, you're seeing people now, and this is anecdotal, but I am seeing people now saying, "Wow, I've never played a Souls game." Actually, I had someone reach out to me on DM saying, "Hey, should I pick up Elden Ring?" And I don't think this person's ever played a Souls game. So I think there's a lot of buzz here. I think this one might be the one game that kind of is the tipping point that kind of pushes the Souls games, or this particular game, kind of over into I think this might be the game that kind of spills into the more casual fan base, or the group that doesn't play Souls games. And I think that's awesome, because Souls has, for early in its when Demon Souls first came out, and then Dark Souls, these games were considered niche. And I feel like over the last couple of years, especially after Dark Souls 3 and then Bloodborne and the Sekiro, these games have kind of gained more popularity and maybe don't seem as niche as they used to. So, but strictly, you're not getting this game. I think you said that earlier, right? Like you're not interested in.
I'm not interested in Souls games, man. I wish I was, but I'm just, just the whole aesthetic of it. But man, I hope it's great, dope for a lot of people, man. It looks to be a good game. We're gonna see, if the if the game matches those scores, you know what I'm saying? But From Software, man, they usually do make really good games. So
yeah, no, absolutely. And look, I am biased. I am Souls biased. Look, I am not a trophy hunter. I don't go for platinums. I don't go for achievements. I just don't.
Probably because on Elden Ring though.
Well, actually, I don't know if I will, man, because that's going to be yeah. I will say this: the one platinum that I have, the only platinum that I have, is in Bloodborne, and so for me, that's kind of like a badge of honor, because that was not an easy platinum to get per se. But yeah, strictly, I don't know if it takes a lot of time, and I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I want to go and invest the time to do that, man. Especially with all the games I got to get back. Like once I beat Elden Ring, I'm going to go back to. I got to go back to Horizon.
It depends, man. It depends if it feels like a chore or not. That's probably what it depends on, man. If it feels like a chore, then you probably not. But if it's a game that you're, I mean, you're a Souls fan, so if it's a game that you're probably gonna love and it's gonna be hard for you to put that game down, you just might.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, man. Like Bloodborne wasn't as brutal as the platinum for Dark Souls 3, and I know what the platinum looks like for Dark Souls 3. And I'm like, fuck that. I'm not gonna do that. Like, shout out to T-Rock who got the platinum in Dark Souls 3 recently, but that is a grind, and the bosses are even harder. I think it's when you go for the platinum in Dark Souls 3, and the thing with Bloodborne is that the nice thing is that you don't have to do like the old Hunters DLC or anything like that to get a platinum. And Bloodborne, the old Hunters DLC, the bosses are even harder, which is crazy. So, B, man, are you picking this game up, man, on Friday?
You know I am, man.
I know. I already know,
sir.
B.
Yes, sir.
He had a pre-order as soon as it went up.
Yes, sir. I'm there day one. You know what I mean? I'm not the biggest. I'm not Dark Souls. I just down with the Dark Souls. I played it initially when the original Dark Souls first came out, and I think I got like literally down like a little hallway. You're supposed to like jump across this bridge, and a rock rolls down, like this big ass boulder. That shit happened to me like 5 times, and I said, "Fuck that game."
He said a rock.
Yeah, like a big boulder rolls down the hill. I guess you're supposed to like, jump out of the way or whatever. And I just said, fuck it. I couldn't deal with that. You know what I mean? I just was not mature enough to deal with that at that time. Never touched Dark Souls, but once Bloodborne came out, that was like the hook for me. And Bloodborne was amazing. And a lot of people got hyped for Dark Souls 3 and stuff like that. I passed on it. Sekiro came out, and that was like, yes, right up my alley. You know what I mean? Felt more like, a Ninja Gaiden, type game, and that was like right up my alley. So then when they showed this, I was like, oh shit, you know what I mean? They went open world, you know what I mean? The first trailer was, they were riding around on a horse, and the dragon comes down, and you can hop off the horse and jump back on it during combat. Like, I was like, okay, yeah, they got me. So I'm there day one, man. Super excited about it. I don't know how long we'll play it, because I definitely want to finish Horizon before I really move on to anything else. But I'm gonna get in there, get my feet wet, and then I'll return to it once I'm done with Horizon.
Yeah, no, I hear you, man. I am I'm taking off on Friday to play this game.
Yeah, that's what I did for Horizon, man. I took
Yeah, it didn't. I feel like Persona Jay Barr took off like the whole week to play that. I think, right?
Yeah,
I think, yeah. I don't blame him. I was pretty much off a week though, because I was off Thursday, Friday. Obviously, Monday was a holiday.
Yeah,
and I didn't work Tuesday either. So
you
pretty much,
yeah.
Now that I think about it.
Yeah, I was talking to Jeff Grubb on Twitter today. I was like, yeah, Jeff, I took Friday off. He's like, to play this game. He goes, you might want to take Monday off too. I'm like, oh, okay. But yeah, I mean, this game, I mean, I am hyped, and like you be, I didn't really fuck with Souls in the beginning, man. I was like, nah, this shit's too fucking hard. Fuck this. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I never went back to it. Until Dark Souls 3 came out, and I was like, you know what? I almost got into Dark Souls 2, almost picked it up, and then I was reading the reviews, and some people were kind of poo-pooing it a little bit. I think that's the Dark Souls that Miyazaki was not a part of, right?
Yeah. I think that's the one. I forgot what he was working on at that time, but yeah, I don't think he was like heading that game.
Yeah, Miyazaki's just wow. Yeah, I mean, no one does level design, boss battles the way From does. I mean, just some of the best, right? The combat, the variety in terms of bosses, but the one thing that's really cool about Souls games, like every boss battle that every encounter actually means something, because it all ties into like the end, the final boss battle, right?
Yeah.
But like I picked up Dark Souls 3 when it came out, and then played it a little bit, and then I was like, you know what? There was other games I wanted to play. I think I was really big into Battlefield back then. I think it was like the only game I was playing at the time. And then I put it down, and then Bloodborne came out, and didn't play that right away, and then picked it up, went back to it, and then that's when I really got hooked. And I played Demon Souls back in the days, and that was unplayable back then. But yeah, Bloodborne's like really got me back into it, and then when Sekiro came out, I was like, wow. And then I was like, you know what? I still had my playthrough with Souls 3. I was like, I need to go back and play Souls 3, and I started playing that and beat that. But again, so if you're someone, if you're interested in this game, like you don't have to have beaten a Souls game to get into this. Like at some point, you got to start somewhere, right? And that was me. Like,
Yeah.
and that was you too. Be like, you didn't. You tried it. The boulder came, killed you a couple times. You're like, I'm out.
Yeah.
Came back. And that's what I did. Like I got back to the Bloodborne, and then I was like, yo, Sekiro came out, and then I was like, I gotta get back to Dark Souls 3, and doing that was great. It was great to have that experience. And then I did go back to Dark Souls 1. Oh, and then Demon Souls. Then Demon Souls came out for PlayStation 5, that remake, and that was just amazing. And so I beat that. And then I have started playing Dark Souls 1 on PlayStation. But I haven't gone back to it. I'm not too far in that game, but eventually I will. But yeah, I'm hyped. I'm just go ahead, B.
You went to back to Dark Souls 1?
Yeah, I did go back to Dark Souls 1. Yeah.
All right, so you know what I'm talking about then. So like when the game first started or whatever, you wake up in like that forest or whatever the hell it is. So when you start walking down, I think it's like around a castle or some shit.
Well, Blighttown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like,
Blighttown.
the first like alleyway you can go down, there's like a big armored dude. Like I died to him like a couple of times. I'm like, all right, well, I can't go down that way anymore. So then you're supposed to like walk up like a hill, and then as you walk up the hill, like somebody pushes like the boulder down. Man, I dodged that shit 3 or 4 times. I'm like, yeah, fuck this game.
And you knew the guy was going to do that every time. You still died.
Yeah, because I'm like, all right, well, if I sit here for a second, he'll roll the boulder down. All right, start going up, and then the boulder still came. I'm like, man, fuck this game, man. Turn that shit off. Never went back to it again.
Oh my god, that's funny, man. That is funny. Yeah, I mean, I was kind of like in the same boat with just Souls in general. Like I said, I was like, you know what, I'm not. I didn't want to do it, didn't have the time, and it was like I didn't want to invest. But let me tell you, it's one of the most rewarding experiences in gaming for me, at least, when you beat a Souls game or you beat a boss. Like I've literally like beat a boss and like cursed the boss out after beating him.
Oh yeah. When I first got into Bloodborne, you know what I mean, and you get that first boss, take down or whatever. It's like okay. Then you go to the church, and I forget what the boss is called.
You talking about Emilia Vicaria or something? I think I forget her name. You talking about the one that looks like a shaggy dog?
Yeah.
Amelia Vicar or something. I can't remember her fucking name, but
yeah. So you get in there, it's like okay, you get rolling, and then you get to the next boss. It's like all right, I died a couple times. All right, I got it. You start getting them, them boss takedowns. It's like exhilarating. You know what I mean? You ready to like punch somebody through the TV. You know what I mean? Because like you're getting so hyped. You know what I mean? Because like all right, I died. I know what I need to do this time. All right, take a slow roll here. You know what I mean? And then once you get it down, like when you finally get that boss, man, it's like you won the NBA championship. You know what I mean? It's like it's that hype. You know what I mean? So
that's how I've been with Returnal. I know it's not Souls, but it's it has those.
Yeah, Returnal got that same type of feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Returnal's like that. Sifu was like that too. You know what I'm saying? Like
I haven't had a chance to get into it like that.
Yeah, but, like you really had to. You know what I'm saying? Like it was funny because I would like clip the boss fights, and then like when I would go back and look at the clips and like look at the moves, and then I beat them like next time up. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. Be that the boss you're talking about is Vicar Amelia. Yeah, she's the one in the church. Like and for me, like when you fight the who is it? Not the cleric bees, but Oh, the Bloodstar Beast and Bloodborne, right?
Yeah, yeah.
When I beat that, I was like, yeah. I was so excited. And I was like, yeah, fuck you, Bloodstar. You know, like I just like literally like you just start,
hell
you know, and you're just ready to go on and conquer the next boss. You know, you're like, okay, you know, I got this now. Like you get like a little some confidence, right?
right.
So, one of the bosses I hated was Nikolash or Mikolash he's the host of the Nightmare in Bloodborne, and because he would laugh and stuff and talk crazy and shit, and he make you chase him around.
Yeah.
When I beat him, I was like, yeah, I was like, fuck you, Mikolash, that's what you get for talking shit, making me chase after you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like that's what it's like with those games, and it's so rewarding. Like, you know, when you beat these bosses, because you know, like in Sekiro, like when I beat Saint Ishin the first time,
Yeah.
and I'm battling him again. I'm actually going for the second. I'm actually working on beating the game for a second time. I'm at him right now. But when I beat him the first time, man, I was talking so much shit. I was like, yeah, you got that gun. You try to cheat, you know, blah, blah, blah. Or when you beat Owlfather. When I beat Owlfather, oh, woo! You know, like it just, yeah, that's just how it is. You just get so excited. So I can't wait. You know, this game, I've been looking forward to this game since they announced it. Obviously, you know, JJR Martin's involved, or George. I'm sorry, not JJ. I'm thinking of JJ Abrams, and I basically made him and George R. Martin have a baby. I met George R. Martin. But you know, he's involved. When I heard he was involved in this project, I was like, oh shit, they got him too. Like, okay. So yeah, I'm like, okay, you know, this is going to be special. And I was out there talking shit, saying it's going to be the first game of the year. And people are like, what about Horizon? I'm like, obviously Horizon's in the conversation, but anyhow. So yeah, Friday can't be here soon enough. It does launch midnight on midnight Eastern time on consoles. I think it launches on PC 6 p.m. Although I'm not getting on PC because there's definitely some issues there with the frames, some frame stability issues. So not going to get it there. Going to get it on PlayStation 5, where I've played all the Souls games. So yeah, can't wait till Friday. Friday can't come here soon enough. So.
Get the plat.
I don't know, man. It depends how much. I gotta see. I gotta see. I don't know, man.
What are the trophies? Are the trophies crazy?
I don't know, man. I haven't looked at the trophy list yet.
Yeah.
You probably don't have to. It's a Souls game.
Yeah, I don't know, man. But I gotta look. I mean, obviously, got to see what the platinum's like, you know. But I probably won't. I just don't have the time for it, to be honest with you. There's so many other games after this game that I want to play. I probably won't.
See, it's 42 trophies.
There's 42 trophies.
Yeah.
So, B, do you have a trivia question?
Man, I do not. I tried to find something that would be intriguing, but everything I come up with is probably gonna be a pretty easy answer. So,
do I need to? You want me to ask my trivia question?
Nah, man. Not that trivia. I saw that. Let me see something here.
I quit, man. I quit. I know, man.
Hold on. Let me see something here. I'm trying to Google something here. See if I can.
Just do it. Just do the number. I would just do a number.
All right, here we go. Hold on. I might have a question here. Hold on a sec here. Hold on a sec here. All right. Yeah, I'm trying. You know, this one's hard, man, because it might be. All right. I think I found one.
All right, what you got, man?
All right. In Dark Souls 3, what are the names of the treasure chests that aren't treasure chests?
I don't know nothing about Souls, so you know I ain't.
Yeah, I couldn't. You know, I ain't playing Dark Souls, man. That's all you. Who got the answer right?
I don't know. We'll see. Oh, let's see. Kratowski got it. He's right. Mimic.
Mimic.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations, Kratasi. You won a copy of Elden Ring. So hit me up on DM, sir.
Congrats, Katopsy. I mean, he deserves it. He been keeping some of these bots in check in the chat. You know what I'm saying? So, rightfully deserved, kind sir.
Oh my god, that's too funny, man. That is too funny. You know what I miss hearing Strictly? When Code would call them pesky bots.
Oh man, listen, man. That's when he used to kill me with that, man. Pesky bots, and he would put out the tweet when he blocked them, say that.
Yep. He was pesky bots. It's just funny. Yeah, but yeah, congratulations, Kratopsy, man. Hit me up on DM, man, so we can figure out what platform you want to that you want Elden Ring for. Nate says this man beat me because I was in the car. Well, Nate, man, thank you, by the way, for listening while you're in the car, man. I appreciate that. So, all right, man.
Did you get the collector's edition?
What's that?
Did you get the collector's edition?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. It sold out before I could get it, man.
I got the which one did I get? I got the hold on, I'll tell you right now, man. I'll tell you, B, man, it's been an expensive month for me in gaming, bro.
Facts. I got the collector's the Regala edition for Horizon.
Yeah, I got the collector's edition. I got two by accident. I was thinking about giving one of those away tonight, but I was like, nah, I'm gonna try to sell that shit on eBay first. Yeah, because I ordered two collector's editions of Horizon by accident. So all right, let's see here. So I got there's two. So B, there's two versions of the collector's editions for Elden Ring, I think, right?
Yeah, I think there's two or three. Because I think there was one that was like exclusive to Bandai.
Yeah, I think that was the more expensive one, though, right?
Yeah,
it came like it got the
that one came with like the helmet or whatever.
Yeah, the helmet. Yeah, I got the one that's $189. That's the one that I got. The one that doesn't come with the helmet. Yeah, I didn't want that helmet. Like, what am I gonna do with the helmet? I'm gonna wear that shit while I'm playing? Like, shit, I would wear it if it gave me special powers.
You can wear it during your streams, man.
No way, no.
Get the chat involved.
Oh my god, yeah. I don't know about wearing. Can you imagine wearing that helmet? Oh my god, Jesus. Yeah, that wouldn't be good, man. I think people would probably make fun of me. I'd make fun of myself.
Yeah.
So.
Man.
Yeah, but anyhow, well, congratulations again, Kratasi. Let me know what platform I'll get you the code over as soon as possible. If, like I said, if it's PlayStation, I'll have to send you a PlayStation digital currency because I can't
Hey,
buy
PlayStation, get that together, man. Can we get some gifting?
Facts,
on PlayStation,
man.
You know what I mean? What is going on?
Yeah, I was gonna say that the PlayStation. There's some things that they need to improve on, absolutely, and that's one of them.
Hell yeah, that and damn refund policy, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they need to improve that big time.
Man, it's like, bro, when you spend money on a PlayStation game, that shit gone.
Yeah,
like you're not getting that shit back, no matter what.
that money in the wind, man. It's over for you.
The game doesn't launch. Too bad.
Hey, PlayStation like Debo out here in these streets, man. Yeah, we got about $200. I got about $200. You know what I'm saying? Like,
he said PlayStation like I got $200.
Like, we ain't hearing
you want some of this, old man? No.
I'm trying to tell you, bro.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Man.
Yeah, no, they need to fix the gifting issue. They need to fix the refund policy. Absolutely, I agree 100%. So.
Yeah, man, they got to do better with that.
Wait, Kratopsy, you want it on Steam? Are you serious? Okay, look at you. Steam, you can definitely gift.
Yeah,
which is nice. All right, hold on. All right, I'm DMing him right now. All right, cool. All right, so look, big shout out to everyone in the live chat. Thank you all for hanging out with us tonight. We're going to wrap up the show. Please hit that like button if you're new. Subscribe, hit the bell notification so you're alerted when we go live. And look, enjoy gaming. At the end of the day, it's what it's all about, having fun. Just enjoy having fun and playing video games and all that other stuff. So, want to give a big shout out to our special guest, first time guest.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, no, Strictly, man. It's great having you here, man. Long overdue, man. Long overdue. Got to get you back on the show again sometime soon, man. But no, thanks for coming through, man. And if you want to be found, let everyone know where they can find you.
Yes, sir, man. You already know, man. Find me on Twitter, STLCTY03. Love talking about games and gaming with logical people. If you say stupid shit, I'm not responding to you. I'm just saying. Um, just being honest. You know what I'm saying? But man, shout out to BRAP, man. Just dope people. You my guy. Like I said, man, one of the best channels on YouTube and just all
Thank you,
around
man.
just a
Appreciate
dope
that.
person, man. So I appreciate you having me
Thank
on
you.
for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's a pleasure. Like I said, we have to get you back on again soon. And big shout out to Slomo and Eric Jackson couldn't make it tonight. Forte is probably playing Destiny. I'll just put that out there. I think he's playing Destiny. Big shout out to Forte as well. Couldn't make it. And B, man, always a pleasure. B, before we wrap the show, man, anything we should be keeping an eye on, man?
Hey, I don't know if I said it live on the show last week or the last week I was here, but I told y'all, man, keep your eyes open for March. There's rumors that there's a showcase, but there should be something announced prior to that. So,
When you say an announcement,
just know that I said it, and when it happens, know that I said it.
when you say something prior, some kind of announcement prior, is this another acquisition announcement?
I don't know, man. I don't know nothing.
All right, B. Fair enough, man. Fair enough. B, let everyone know they can find you, man.
Yeah, you can find me everywhere. Same name, B Money 101. I'm gonna be on that Elden Ring this Friday. So if you're trying to co-op, man, hit me up for sure. But other than that, man, we see y'all next week.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. And then next Wednesday we'll give our feedback on Elden Ring. So hopefully it lives up to the hype, because sometimes I know how that goes. So, but no, I do fully expect it to be a fantastic game. So, all right, everyone. If you want to give me a follow on Twitter, follow me at BRAP_podcast. Again, hit that like button. If you're new, subscribe, hit the bell notification so you're alerted when we go live. Thank you everyone in the live chat for hanging out with us. And congrats to Kritopsy again for winning a copy of Elden Ring. So we'll catch you all next Wednesday. I may do a BRAP rant this weekend, maybe. I'll let you know if I do one. Just keep an eye out on Twitter. I'll announce it there. So all right, on that note, we're out. Everyone, have a great rest of the evening. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Yes, sir. Peace.